You probably think you don't care about status. Most of us have a practiced script for this. We say, I don't need to impress anyone. We tell ourselves, I don't care what people think, I just want peace. We believe we are the protagonists of a private story, driven by internal values and personal goals. But then, the world intervenes. Someone else gets the promotion you quietly wanted. Someone in your circle buys a house that makes yours look cramped. An acquaintance posts a photo of a vacation that looks like a movie set, or a body that looks like a sculpture, or a relationship that looks like a fairy tale. Suddenly, something inside you reacts. It's not a loud scream, it's a tiny, sharp sting, a strange pressure in the chest, an invisible weight of comparison. You aren't angry exactly, you just feel that tiny sting. That is the first thing you need to understand. Status does not feel like status from the inside. From the inside, it feels like fairness. It feels like respect. It feels like being seen. Status is older than your personality. It is older than your job, older than social media, and older than civilization itself. It is the invisible architecture of human interaction. And once you see it, you start noticing it everywhere. In the way people dress, the way they speak, who interrupts and who stays quiet, and who gets chosen, protected, and desired. The uncomfortable truth is that today, status looks superficial. It looks like Instagram followers, luxury watches, and job titles. But your brain didn't evolve in office buildings or digital feeds. It evolved in small, tight-knit tribes. In a prehistoric band of hunter-gatherers, your position in the social hierarchy wasn't about ego, it was about survival. High status was a life insurance policy. In those worlds, your rank decided almost every vital outcome. Who listened to you during a crisis? Who shared meat with you during a famine? Who stood by you when a predator approached? Who saw you as a valuable ally? And who saw you as expendable? High status meant access to resources, protection, and influence. Low status didn't just hurt your feelings, it reduced your chances of surviving the winter. It meant you were the last to eat and the first to be sacrificed. Because of this, the human brain developed a neurobiological sensitivity to rank. When you feel your status rise, your brain releases serotonin and dopamine, chemicals that make you feel calm, confident, and right. When you feel your status slip, your brain triggers a stress response. You feel a surge of cortisol. You feel social pain, which, neuroscientifically speaking, uses the same pathways as physical pain. Your conscious mind says, it's just a photo on a screen. It's not a big deal. But a much older part of your brain is asking a primitive question. Is my position in the tribe slipping? Am I becoming invisible? Am I in danger? Now here's where it gets even more interesting. One of the strongest reasons humans care about status is simple. Status has always influenced attraction. People often claim they want kindness or chemistry, and while they do, status quietly shapes the lens through which those traits are viewed. Evolutionarily, high status served as a proxy for competence. A high-status individual was someone who had successfully navigated the complexities of the social group. They were resourceful, intelligent, and influential. They were winners in the game of life, and therefore, they were perceived as more desirable mates. Even today, status acts as a powerful signal. It's why the same person can be ignored in one context and become magnetic in another. If you put someone at the center of a room and have everyone else look at them with deference and social proof, that person instantly appears more attractive. The human brain reads the room. It asks, why are others orienting toward this person? What do they have that I don't see? Before logic can catch up, the primal brain has already assigned them a higher value. We aren't just attracted to individuals, we are attracted to the value that the rest of the tribe has assigned to them. If humans chase status for the high, they fear status loss because of the burn. This is why embarrassment feels like a physical wound. It's why public rejection can haunt a person for a decade. To a social species, falling in rank feels like exposure. It feels like weakness made visible. Throughout history, losing status meant losing the group's protection. This is why people will spend absurd amounts of energy and money trying to avoid looking low status. Often, people aren't buying luxury items because they love the craftsmanship. They are buying insulation from social downgrade. The expensive car, the designer bag, the prestigious title, these are shields. They are a way of signaling to the world, I am not at the bottom. I matter. Do not overlook me. We would rather look busy than unimportant. We would rather look arrogant than uncertain. We would rather look detached than rejected. Behind much of our ambition is a nervous system trying to escape the existential dread of invisibility. Human beings were obsessed with status long before the first smartphone. However, social media didn't just capture this obsession, it industrialized it. It turned the subtle, nuanced dance of social rank into a visible, quantified scoreboard. In the past, you only compared yourself to the 150 people in your immediate circle. Now, you compare your behind-the-scenes footage to the highlight reels of the top 0.001% of the global population. This creates psychological chaos. Your brain was never designed to process the status signals of 8 billion people. When you open an app and see a peer succeeding where you are struggling, your brain registers it as a loss of rank. When you see someone younger, richer, or more liked, your ancient survival circuitry flashes a warning light. You aren't weak for feeling this way. You are simply a biological machine performing an ancient function in a modern environment that has been engineered to exploit it. Not all status is created equal. Evolutionary psychologists point to two distinct ways humans achieve rank: dominance and prestige. Dominance is status achieved through force, intimidation, and control. It is the alpha archetype, the person who takes up space and punishes those who challenge them. We respond to dominance because of fear. Prestige, however, is status achieved through competence, wisdom, and value. This is the status of the person people choose to follow because they have skills the group needs. We respond to prestige because of admiration. If you look at the modern world through this lens, you see people constantly confusing the two. A lot of what looks like confidence is actually just dominance-seeking behavior, fear wearing armor. Conversely, true prestige often requires no flexing at all. The person who is truly competent doesn't need to shout about their rank because the tribe already knows their value. This is the part most people resist, the idea that even good or spiritual people are playing the game. We think status obsession belongs only to the shallow, but status shapes nearly everyone. Academics chase intellectual status through citations. Artists chase cultural status through edginess or originality. Activists chase moral status through the public display of their virtues. Even minimalists who brag about how little they own are often playing a game of counter-signaling, showing they are so high status they don't need symbols. Humans don't just want resources, we want recognized value. We want our existence to register in the minds of others. We want to count. Status is simply the oldest social language we have for measuring that mattering. The danger of status is that it is a positional good. If everyone gets a promotion, no one's status changes. Status only works through comparison, which means the game has no finish line. If your sense of worth is linked to your rank, your peace will always be fragile. There will always be someone richer, younger, faster, or more relevant. You can climb to the very top of one mountain, only to realize there is a taller peak right behind it. Status can increase your visibility without increasing your intimacy. It can increase admiration without increasing belonging. It can make others look at you without ever making you feel seen. So, what do? You cannot opt out of having a human brain. You cannot destroy your status instincts any more than you can destroy your hunger or your need for oxygen. The goal is not to become above status. That is a fantasy, and usually just another status move. The goal is to become conscious of it. Freedom begins when you notice the sting of comparison and realize it's just an old survival program running in the background. It begins when you start asking better questions. Am I chasing respect or just attention? Am I building actual value or just signaling it? Am I trying to rise or am I just afraid of feeling small? When you understand the hidden architecture of status, the world starts to make sense. You stop judging yourself for your insecurities and start seeing them as biological echoes. You stop being a pawn in the status game and start choosing which games are actually worth your time. Because the moment you see the game for what it is, it loses its invisible power over you. You don't just understand the world better, you finally begin to understand yourself.